Hey everybody, I hope you're having a fantastic day. I'm recording this on Christmas and I wanted to show you what Santa brought me. Got some fun stuff. We'll start off with these parallel pliers. And the idea with these, I guess I should have been more prepared. The idea with these, if you look at a normal set of pliers here, or pretty much anything with a jaw on it, you can see that there's really one bit of contact and then they start to spread out a little bit. And so the idea with these is they're meant to keep contact the whole way through. So if you open these up, let's see. Yeah, that's cool. So see, they have this double mechanism that means that ideally they pretty much close all at once. Let's see, put a little pressure on them. Yeah, that's pretty cool. They're a smaller pair of pliers. These are more makerish pliers for holding small things while you're soldering them and working on them and stuff like that. Oh, and they are adjustable, I see. So you can put them into alignment if you happen to knock them out of alignment. But these are by the Beadsmith, and just a cool little pair of pliers to add to my collection. Next up, I got my wife one of these a year ago, I think. And, we all as makers have these cutting mats, but we often don't use them as cutting mats. And if you go on Amazon, this is the best rated roller cutter thing. And so let's open her up. See, I waited to open up my Christmas gifts until I saw you guys. So that's how much I care. Okay, so the idea is you pull this guide out of the way and then you can roll this thing to cut. And from what I understand, it's extremely sharp. These are my notes from my 10 things to destroy an Arduino video, but you can see that if you roll it, woof. Yeah, that's pretty sweet. So yeah, this thing is the 45 millimeter cutter with this safety thing here by Olfa, which is pretty sweet. Next up, and I think this is from Amazon Warehouse, but this is one of these Kreg clamps. Package is a little worse for wear. Maybe a reindeer stepped on it or something like that. But this is one of those clamps that are primarily used for Kreg pocket hole jigs, but also for any kind of flat face type clamping. So I did not have one of these with my pocket hole jig, and so I wanted one of these. So very cool. This is a Kreg, what do they call it? Technically they call it a Kreg Classic 3-inch face clamp. This next thing is a bit of a luxury. It is a Park tool, which if you work on bicycles at all, you know the name Park tool, but it is a CN10 cable housing or cable and housing cutter. And like I said, it's a luxury, but it is really nice to have the right tool for the job. And so the idea with this thing is that it is made to properly cut bicycle cable and housing. Now, the housing is fairly difficult to cut without crushing. I do have a really sharp pair of lineman's pliers I'll use to cut it, or I use a Dremel with a cutting wheel to cut it, but it can be a pain in the butt to cut. And let's see how this does. Ooh, yeah, that's I mean, that's ridiculously simple. No burrs on the end or anything like that. That is very nice. And then the way I was cutting the cables was, let's try to find one that's been used. The way I was cutting the cable is using these fishing, I don't exactly know what you call them, but fishing pliers, fishing cutters, and I would snip them up here, and it works pretty well. I can't complain about the way it cuts it. It is a little weird to cut on the side of the handle, but this is the right tool for the job. One tool does them both, and so this is the Park Tool CN10 cable and housing cutter. Super thrilled to have that. Thank you, Santa. Next up is this Bondic kit, which I had never heard of this. I mean, I've seen other people use something similar, and I don't exactly know how it works. I mean, there's a infrared LED there, and there's a pen in here. So I'm really excited to try this. And in fact, a couple of months ago, my friend Kowalski bought me this version, and this is what made me laugh about this is that they show you fixing an iPhone cable with this bonding glue, just a clean cut iPhone cable. So I kind of wanted to do a joke video seeing how this one worked, but I think it'd be really interesting to pit these two products against each other. So I will do a light curing glue showdown and see what we can find out about these two products. Next up, we have something I've been looking forward to for a long time. This is a digital multimeter by Kai Wheats. And if you are not subscribed to the Simple Electronics channel, then you need to be. Maybe I'll link you to his video because I probably won't do a full review of this, but he has a multimeter gauntlet that he puts meters through that'll give you actual concrete information as to how well they perform. And this was one of his meters, and it went through swimmingly. And so I was looking to replace the meter that I use in my office, and this one was shown to be very accurate, and if Simple Electronics says to get it, then I believe him. So this meter has everything I was looking for in a meter for my desk. It's got, it's a true RMS meter, which back in the day, you can't imagine how much money you would have paid for a true RMS meter. It even has non-contact voltage for AC, and all your normal features that you'd find in a multimeter. Again, I will link to Simple Electronics' video where he does a full review of it, but I am super excited to have this. So this is a very cool gift. It was made by my friend Kowalski and he laser cut this box on his K40, and then this is a 3D printed lithophane, and it's kind of a cool story. There was, you feel like a lot of times you don't really get through to people, but this guy was a Patriots fan, and I would talk to him about the virtues of his team and how they were just cheating trash and all that kind of stuff. And eventually he saw the light and decided to come around and become an Eagles fan. So he has tattoos, for the Patriots and the Red Sox and stuff on his legs. And so, it was a big deal. So finally he came around to becoming an Eagles fan and dumping that trash team. And he made me this box to commemorate that. So I'm going to kill a little bit of my overhead lighting and turn this thing on. It's pretty cool. So you can see when you light it up that it looks like a real picture. It's very cool. It has a very cool 3D effect. You can change the colors because now that he bleeds green, you can make the thing green. You can make it white. You can cycle through the colors, whatever you want to do with it. But it's just a very cool effect, and I appreciate him coming over to our side. Next up, we have something that I actually opened in order to film a video Christmas morning. But this is the Cubo tripod and camera mount, and to be honest, I couldn't care less about the tripod. So the tripod is fine. Like I don't really use this type of thing very often, but what is very cool about this is this doohickey right here, and this combined with this makes the best tripod camera mount because you can get the mount to go and pivot all the way over this way. So both of my overhead camera mounts, I was taking this thing back and forth between my different mounts. In fact, let me see if I can show you guys. So if we flip this up, you can see that right here I have one of these on this mount. But then up top, I have my IKEA mount. And so the idea is that I don't have to keep switching if I have this one up here. I don't have to keep unscrewing this mount as I move from shot to shot. This mount is awesome. It is, I think, close to $25 for the whole thing, and really I only care about the ball, but I haven't found anything that's even close to it, so I love this thing. This next one's a little bit off-brand for the channel, but this is called the Adventure Challenge Couples Edition. So to give you an idea of the book, it's a very well-made book. It's has very thick paper on there, and it's got a couple of rules that you need to disconnect to reconnect. No take-backs. If you scratch off a date, you have to do it. If you don't feel like it, too bad. You need to document the journey and take a picture about each date in your journey, and you need to show it off. So anyway, the idea of this is that there are 50 dates in this book, and it gives you an idea of how much money it'll cost. This is $0 to $15, when to do it before 9 p.m., how long it will take, 3 to 4 hours, and then you scratch it off. And so there are 50 of them in here, and they do give you a little bit of information. So this one is called Food with Bay, and there's some notes down here for recipe for a disaster, and it gives you an idea of a little bit about what's going to go on. So like food and shopping, and I guess maybe at house or something like that. I think there's somewhere I saw here's a little thing here. So these little things are tagged, whether you're going to make a mess, if you need supplies, if you're going to be doing it indoors or outdoors, away, daylight, nighttime, all that kind of stuff. So they seem to have put some thought into how this thing goes. And kind of the cool thing about it is that there really isn't a lot of prep on your part. So, if your significant other buys this, or if you buy this for your significant other and you don't like it, well, you guys made the decision to scratch this one off together, and so you're in it together. It's not like you went in there and chose this date and it was lame. Anyway, it is, looks like a pretty cool book. It is called The Adventure Challenge, and it is available online. I will put the link in the description. So I know it's not all about the gifts, but I am super thankful for these maker-ish gifts that I got for Christmas. And I want to thank you guys for watching. I hope you're enjoying your holidays, and have a great day.